heavyweight champion, is here today on Wrestling at the Chase. Hello, I'm Larry Madison. Ric Flair, the owner of wrestling's biggest prize, is one of the headliners on today's card. Flair, a flamboyant personality, and as we've stated before, we feel he's much underrated as far as his toughness and his basic scientific ability. Let's face it, anybody who can have that gold belt has what it takes. Ric Flair here today on Wrestling at the Chase, and Mickey Garagiola will introduce the opening match right after this.
Welcome to Wrestling at the Chase, the opening bout, a one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing from West Memphis, Arkansas, weighing 253 pounds, Joe Kirtland. From Portland, Oregon, weighing 258 pounds, Ken Patera. Referee, Terry Garvin.
Joe Kirtland squares off with Ken Patera, a man who claims to be the world's strongest wrestler, and who also says that Crusher Blackwell is the world's second strongest wrestler. They may be buddies, they may be friends, but as far as Patera is concerned, there's one claim that's his, and he's keeping it. You need an encyclopedia to go through all the records that Ken Patera has set in weightlifting. He holds so many internationally and nationally. A lot of people forget, too, that he was the NCAA shot put champion at Brigham Young University. Patera forces Kirkland on ropes, pops him with a forearm, catches him with another forearm to the jaw. Chancery rolls him over. Count of one, count of two. Kirkland manages to get his shoulder up. Patera started to come in and saw that Kirkland had his fist clenched. Tell him to open up those fists, says Patera. And to a certain extent, Patera has a point there because his first blow was with the forearm and the second really was more of an elbow smash. Kirkland throws a forearm at Ken Patera. I'll teach you about wrestling, says Patera to Kirkland. Patera and Kirkland. Two rough guys as far as reputation goes, and I'm sure in the fans' eyes. So wrist lock by Patera on Kirkland. Patera puts Kirkland down on the mat. Referee Terry Garvin tells Patera to keep off the tights if that's what you're doing. He has a suspicion of what Mr. Patera might be up to. It's really just a shortcut for Patera, though, because the simple fact is he had the strength probably to pull Kirkland down, but rather than use up that energy, the precious energy that you might need later, he took the easy way out, grabbed the tights, and put him down. Kirkland stalks Patera. Kick into the chest by Patera. Patera pounds Kirkland into one corner and whoops him into another. Oh, he riveted him to the turnbuckles. Patera lifts Kirkland high into the air, turns him around, and slams the 250-pounder. Oh, Kirkland. If nothing else, he must be a bit awestruck by the ease with which Patera put Kirkland into the air. Patera squeezing that head. What a finely tuned athlete Patera is. You know, when he lifted competitively, he weighed well over 300 pounds. But because wrestling requires different skills and different things, mostly flexibility and quickness, Ken took that weight off. He took off a good 50 pounds, 60 pounds. And I'll tell you, he's an impressive-looking, a sleek-looking athlete. Kirkland with an elbow smash to Ken Patera. Patera shaking a bit. Another elbow to the head by Joe Kirkland on Ken Patera. Kirkland with a forearm smash. And Patera finding a gentleman who believes in not only fighting fire with fire, but generally starting the fire. Kirkland with a side headlock on Patera. Patera lifts him into the air, and then the atomic knee drop, jamming the spine down on the knee. Patera driving the knee into the back of Kirkland. Kirkland comes off the ropes and runs right into the elbow. A legal blow by Ken Patera. Patera bouncing the head of Kirkland again and again and again onto the top turnbuckle. Patera can be ruthless when he smells an opponent in trouble. I mean, he goes right to the jugular vein. And, of course, that's why he has all those gold medals in his bag, too. Oh, Patera misses the clothesline. Patera with a high knee lift nearly takes Kirkland's head off. Patera with the elbow drop after that high knee lift, and then hooks up the neck. He goes to the full Nelson. The full Nelson of Ken Patera. Patera. The thing that he can either swing him in with or just force that neck down just like that. It's almost like a neck breaker. And Terry Garvin calls for the bell as Joe Kirkland submits Patera. Missed with the clothesline, and then did you see him go high into the air and catch Kirkland with that high knee? If he was up as high as some people are with drop kicks. After the elbow drop, the full Nelson made it a cinch for Ken Patera to record a victory. Here is Mickey Garagiola.
In 4 minutes and 13 seconds, the full Nelson and a submission, the winner, Ken Patera. The first main event, a one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing from Topeka, Kansas, weighing 251 pounds, Art Cruz. From Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing 245 pounds, the world heavyweight champion, Nature Boy Ric Flair.
The world champion, Ric Flair, tangles with Art Cruz. What a great opportunity for Art Cruz. Flair bringing his robe over. We'll put it right here, Ric Flair saying that he wants his robe and belt over here on the press table. That's just where we'll put it. We'll keep the champion happy. Taking his time handing down the gold belt. We'll fold it up and put it right here next to this. Keep Rick happy. Okay, boy, this is a heavy thing. Of course, we put all these different emeralds and things in it. That adds a lot of weight. Very classy material. I'll tell you, Mick, I think you and I ought to go by Ric Flair's house, and when he gives away stuff to Goodwill, maybe we'll get a couple new coats. Ric Flair rides Art Cruz down. Nice takedown. Look how he cross-faces Cruz once he's got him down. Great opportunity for Art Cruz here against the world heavyweight champion. You can bet that Dick the Bruiser is rooting for Art Cruz. He'd love to have another psychological arrow shot into Ric Flair before their showdown. Cruz with the hammerlock after a good move. Flair, a gambler, really a gambler inside that ring. He will take any risk. No gamble's too big, and obviously it's paying off for him. He wouldn't have the gold belt. Flair, nice move, nice leg drop. Well done. He comes up with a toe hold. Ric Flair can wrestle. Make no mistake about it. He is an excellent wrestler. He is a tremendous athlete. Flair trying to hang on to the toe while Art Cruz has a side headlock. But Cruz can't keep that side headlock, and in fact, Flair took advantage of the arm being around his head. Flair riding him, taking him down, putting him in a predicament. Count of one by referee Lee Warren. Cruz squirming about. Flair giving you a good lesson in basic wrestling right there. Cruz tried to tie up Flair's head, now tries to reach underneath for the leg. Nice sit out, and back into the hammerlock, almost, by Art Cruz. Flair nearly slipped away. Cruz has to settle for an armbar on the world heavyweight champion. Ric Flair, he knows that they call Dick the Bruiser the uncrowned world champion. And the time is soon coming to make him as though that little slap, that little tap by Flair is trying to irritate, to aggravate, playing mind games with Art Cruz.
Find that word!
Leading dishwasher manufacturers put their names to one brand for a clean so powerful it shines, making a commitment to brilliant results by recommending Finish Quantum, the diamond standard of dishwashing. The #1 recommended brand, Finish, the diamond standard.
What are you doing?
I'm an accident waiting to happen.
Accidents are an unfortunate part of life. But when it's someone else's fault, you shouldn't have to pay. The solicitors at BGR Bloomer will deal with your accident compensation claim efficiently and sensitively. It won't cost you a penny. Call BGR Bloomer today, and our specialist solicitors are ready to work on your claim immediately.
Just listen to that. The wonderful sound of
See that?
the upper classes. If you're really posh, you fly in. And unlike the poor old birds, you get to fly out again. And if you want to fit in here, helps if you talk posh or speak Latin. But you don't have to be posh to be privileged. If you have 4 years no claims discount, privilege guarantees to beat your renewal quote. Afternoon, George.
Call now or visit privilege.com.
To ya. But what the fuck that got to do with the mic? I analyze every rhyme you write. You ain't nice. What Pep can't do, the lyrical one can. I hit the mixtape circuit for a few months span. Now you run around screaming, Pat, push up, man. But I've been nice since they used to shoot up jams. G-packs on the block trying to move $1 grand. Everybody scatter when the knocks pull up vans. Man, it's hard in the hood, gotta use your plans. When you get some real money, cop you some land. Better watch how you choose your mans. Ass had they turn, but they don't wanna give you your chance. I ain't asked you for no favors when you blew up scrams. I mix baking soda with coke and blew up grams. Your fans become mine when we do one jam. I'm like an air conditioner, I make you lose your fans.
And you know this.
But what the fuck that got to do with the mic? I analyze every rhyme you write. You ain't nice.
Find that word!
Side headlock. Into the hammerlock. Nicely done. Smoothly done by the world champion. The man who took the title from Dusty Rhodes. And of course, Rhodes will be joining forces with Ted DiBiase to tangle with 6-time former world king Harley Race and turbulent Dick Murdoch. I wonder if Race and Murdoch can get along. Murdoch has a history of not getting along with too many people, including tag team partners. And you know Race is out for Race. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And Harley Race would certainly like a crack at the winner between Flair and the Bruiser. So would DiBiase, so would Rhodes, so would Murdoch, so would Dory Funk Jr., so would Dewey Robertson, Patera, Blackwell, the Von Erich boys, Brody, Rufus Jones, right on down the line. Gee, what a lineup. What a lineup. Flair trying to cradle Cruz. Flair says, come on, count, a count of 2, and Cruz having some problems. Those good basics paying off early in the match here for the world champion, Ric Flair. Cruz hooks the arm of Flair. Good move. Flair throws Cruz away. Flying tackle. Oh, did he pop him? Flair ducks beneath. Flair leapfrogs over the top. Flair waiting. Tries to hip toss him. Cruz blocks it and hip tosses the champion. Cruz lifts Flair high overhead. Body slam. Oh, that was a bone rattler. Cruz charges him with a forearm. The arm whip hurls Flair in there. Oh! Flair catches Cruz with a knee right to the chin and then locks him up with a front face lock. The front face lock by Ric Flair on Art Cruz. This one, it looked as though Cruz had something going. Well, Ric Flair took it away from him. He's a ring general, a good one. And he proved it right there. Cruz had some momentum, had things flowing his way, and the champion knew it. Flair really leaning into Cruz, straining, pressuring the neck. It's not a strangle, says the referee. He's checking that carefully. And there's really no need for Flair to strangle if he has that hold right, because a crossface across that jawbone, I'll tell you. Hey, here's Dick the Bruiser. Rings the Bruiser. Dick, wait up, Dick. He's taking the belt. Dick. The Bruiser just took the belt and the robe away. The Bruiser just left. He's got the belt and the robe. The crowd yelling. I don't think Flair knows what happened.
5 minutes have elapsed, 15 minutes left.
I don't know where Dick the Bruiser went. He had the robe and the belt. I mean, he's gone. Flair throws Cruz right out of the ring. The crowd yelling. The Bruiser's gone. The belt's gone. The robe's gone. The crowd yelling, Bruiser, Bruiser, Bruiser. Flair doesn't know what's gone. I'm not too sure I want to tell him either.
No, he hasn't noticed yet that the robe is gone, and so is the belt.
The Bruiser came out, he took it, and it was gone. Flair catching Cruz with a knee to the head. Cruz and Flair battle. Hey, here comes the Bruiser. it. Flair, the Bruiser walking around ringside with, you can see him at your screen, the Bruiser walking around with the robe. And he has the gold belt in his hand. Dick the Bruiser wearing Ric Flair's gaudy $6,000 robe and holding the gold. Flair, look at him, he just insists. Cruz grabs him by the leg. Look at Flair trying to get at the Bruiser. Cruz hanging on to Flair's head, yanking on his hair, nearly pulling it out by the roots. The Bruiser standing with the robe and the belt right in front of us. The Bruiser, well, you talk about playing mind games. That's what Dick the Bruiser's doing right now, walking around outside the ring with the gold belt. Cruz pitches Flair out. Flair sees the Bruiser. And Flair's going out after the Bruiser referee trying to separate him. Get out of the way, yells Flair. Here comes Flair. And the Bruiser is crawling into the ring. The Bruiser is trying to get into the ring, still wearing the robe and carrying the belt. There's the Bruiser with Ric Flair's robe and belt. Look at the Bruiser, he's doing a dance. Cruz is just beating Flair up. The Bruiser on a rampage. He's taking the robe off, throwing it down. Flair trying to get the Bruiser stomping all over the robe of Ric Flair. The Bruiser picking up the robe. I think he's airing it out. Flair has gone berserk and he can't get away from Cruz. There goes the robe into the crowd. There goes the robe into the crowd. The Bruiser still carrying the belt. Flair trying to get away from Cruz. He chops Cruz away. There goes Flair after the Bruiser. Come and get it, says the Bruiser. You want it? Oh, Dick the Bruiser with the ultimate might. Dick, the belt. I'm keeping it, says the...
Keeping it.
Oh, I'm not Dick. The crowd chanting Bruiser, and Dick's leaving with the belt. Dick's leaving with the belt. Flair looking out the exit. He's going to the figure four, and Cruz. Oh, I'd hate to be Cruz now. Cruz caught in the figure four. And Flair with the figure four. Cruz tried out. Flair charging out the exit. And Ric Flair going out into the hallway after the Bruiser. The Bruiser said, I'm keeping it.
Get that belt! Get my robe, damn it!
Ric Flair incensed.
What is the deal here?
Here's the belt. The referee's got it back.
No.
It's back, Rick. Flair has his robe back. He has his belt back.
Yeah!
Ric Flair just incensed.
Don't touch me! You got it! Don't touch me!
You got it back, Rick. You got the belt back.
I got the belt back! What about my robe? What about my pride? I'm a man!
Ric Flair, he has the belt.
Let me tell you something, and you listen real good. When I see the Bruiser, I don't care where it is. I'm going to do my best to put him on a wrestling for the rest of his career. Believe it! Put it in the bank.
I believe it. Believe me, I do believe it. Well, Mr. Flair wanted to play mind games, and I think Dick the Bruiser just played the ultimate mind game on the World Heavyweight Champion. Wow, let's go to Vicky Garagiola.
In 8 minutes and 15 seconds with a figure four to win the World's Heavyweight Champion, it's your boy Ric Flair. The second main event, a one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing from Reno, Nevada, weighing 250 pounds, the Missouri State Champion, Dick the Bruiser. From Miami, Florida, weighing 252 pounds, Ray Hernandez. Referee, Eddie Smith.
The Missouri State King, Dick the Bruiser, pitches Hernandez right out of the ring. Hernandez tried to jump the Bruiser from behind. Hernandez tried to get the Bruiser. Uh-oh, look out. Right head first into the bell. Head first into the bell. The Bruiser has slammed Hernandez. And there goes everything. The wall, the bell, the table, the chairs. And there goes the water pitcher on top of Hernandez's head. Hernandez tried to jump the Bruiser, and he is paying. Oh, my God. The wall is gone. The backdrop's gone. The table is wrecked. The Bruiser pitching. Ray Hernandez back into the ring. Hey, don't try to jump Dick the Bruiser from behind. You're looking for trouble. The Bruiser up on the rope. The crowd chanting, Bruiser, Bruiser, Bruiser. Standing, cheering in the Bruiser with the atomic drop on Ray Hernandez. The Bruiser going up again. A second atomic drop by Dick the Bruiser on Ray Hernandez. He has him covered. He has him down, and that's it. Ray Hernandez tried to make a quick reputation at the expense of Dick the Bruiser. And I mean, the Bruiser destroyed him. He threw him headfirst over the table and into the wall. And we're trying to put everything back together. I think we may have another look at it. If we can find some of the equipment that's still in one piece after the Bruiser has gone roughshod through the entire KPLR TV studio. The Bruiser celebrating his victory and his psychological victory. There it is. Look at Hernandez, the table knocked backwards. The Bruiser picks up the water pitcher, grabs the water pitcher and slams it on top of Hernandez's head. Then he grabs Hernandez, pulls him backwards, picks him up and throws him headfirst over the table and right into the wall. Only Dick the Bruiser could do that. Here is Mickey Garagiola.
In 1 minute and 9 seconds, with an atomic knee drop, the winner, Missouri State Champion, Dick the Bruiser.
World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair, I think, wanted to play a few mind games with Dick the Bruiser, and Dick, I get the feeling he picked on the wrong guy.
First of all, I'm the Missouri State Champion. And I love this belt. I love it. Now, you saw Dick the Bruiser. Dick the Bruiser take Ric Flair's World's Heavyweight Championship belt. I took it. I stole it. I took his woman's robe. I took that too. First of all, I brought the robe back. I flaunted it. I flaunted it at Betty Grable. I wanted him to see what he looks like in it. I threw it away because I don't want a woman's robe.
But what about the gold belt?
But you did not see me bring back the gold belt. The commission and the referee said if I did not get the belt back, I would be suspended and I wouldn't get my title fight. I want the title fight. I gave the belt back. I don't want to win it that way. I want to win it by crushing and defeating Ric Flair.
Did you see the anger in Flair, though? Did you see how, I mean, he was ready to explode, Dick.
All right, now I'm going into phase 2. Do you people, is that right? There he is. He's trying to get, see, what a ridiculous fool I look like. That's the way Ric Flair looks. That's the way he looks every time he gets that thing on. And here's just what I think of that robe. That's exactly what I'm going to do to Ric Flair's face. Find that word.
What would you bring from the Pride rules to the unified rules of mixed martial arts in the octagon?
Man, if I could be a rule maker, I would keep the knees to the head on the ground. I would keep the head stomp.
You would keep the head stomps?
Yeah, baby. You know what I'm saying? I like that. You know, even though I got it done to me more than I got a chance to do it to other people, I just thought it was cool.
Protect against the rising cost of driving with Direct Line car insurance. Buy a new policy direct from us. We promise not to increase your price next year, and you'll receive a 10% discount when insuring a second car. It pays to be with the right insurer. Call 0845 246 8447 or visit directline.com.
I love the 60s.
Swinging London, changing London. John, Paul, George and Ringo.
It was such a special time.
It's one small step for man.
But nothing stays the same. Sadly, we all lose someone close to us. You can't prepare for the grief, but there is a way you can ease the money worries of those left behind. The 50-plus plan from LV can provide a guaranteed cash lump sum to help towards things like funeral expenses and unpaid bills. It costs from £8 a month, and with LV there's no medical or health questions, so you're guaranteed to be accepted. And there's a free gift when your plan starts. For your free information pack, call LV today on 0800 45 45 45. That's 0800 45 45 45.
On the next Ring of Honor, Samoa Joe collides with Claudio Castagnoli.
Drags him back up into the corner. Right hand and a chop. Series of strikes from Samoa Joe. Just peppering Castagnoli in the corner with rights and lefts. And really firing up on him in the corner as well. And down he goes.
Catch Ring of Honor Wrestling Monday nights at 8, only on the Fight Network.
Listen to this crowd.
You want to see knockouts?
Down the right hand, this fight is over!
You want to see champions? You want to see TKO.
Wow!
See where it all began for Georges St. Pierre.
Huge win for St. Pierre!
Patrick Cote.
Oh, solid right hand from Cote!
And Sam Scout.
Oh, hand right by Scout!
TKO is premier mixed martial arts, only on the Fight Network. Fight Network!
Now, I'm going to ask you people one last time. Do you want a girl that looks like Betty Grable, that wears pantyhose and high heels for your champion? Do you? All right. Or do you want a man that looks like Dick the Bruiser? That frequent saloons, I drink beer, I smoke cigars, and I'm going to win that title. I'm a man, Dick the Bruiser, and I'm going to beat that sissy. Remember, do you want a girl as your champion, or do you want a man? And I say, you people in Missouri and the world and the United States, want a man, and I'm him.
Dick the Bruiser, he has made his point. It's clearly, as you ever can, that crowd standing, cheering, and chanting, Bruiser, 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 and he loves it. We'll be back with more in a moment.
The final event, a six-man tag team match, close falls to curfew. Introducing from St. Joe, Missouri, weighing 240 pounds, Mike George. From Hamilton, Canada, weighing 239 pounds, Dewey Robinson. From Boston, Massachusetts, weighing 270 pounds, Rufus R. Jones. From Dunkirk, Indiana, weighing 244 pounds, Roger Kirby. From Tulsa, Oklahoma, weighing 246 pounds, Jerry Brown. From Memphis, Tennessee, weighing 230 pounds, David Price.
It's six-man tag team action, and it's a good thing we interviewed Dick the Bruiser, because that gave Ollie Hofstetter and crew a chance to put ringside back together. When he threw Hernandez, the Bruiser I'm talking about, over the table, into the backdrop, and then backwards into the cement wall, Hey, Hernandez is a big, tough, strong kid. Great future in the business. But he jumped the Bruiser from behind, and you know Dick's state of mind right now. That just wasn't the thing to do. That was vintage Dick the Bruiser right there. You think the new Bruiser's gone soft? Oh. You gotta be kidding. And Dick explained exactly why he came into the ring with that robe, why he stole the robe, took the title belt, but gave it back. Of course, he didn't have much choice there. He wanted to lose the title match because of it. And it means too much. There's too much prestige, too much honor, too much money tied up with the gold belt that represents the World Heavyweight Champion. It dates back to 1905. Think of that now. 77 years, that gold belt, and our likeness to it, has represented the finest in professional wrestling. And the finest in professional wrestling right now, by virtue of ownership of that belt, is Ric Flair. They called Dick the Bruiser the uncrowned world champion after that controversial match last March. But the fact remains that when they go into their showdown, the best of three falls, Flair's going to wear the belt. The question is, who wears it going out of that ring?
You know, Larry, I can't help it as I sit here. You get the goosebumps, you get all shook up, you get sacked up, because here in the studio of KPLR, you've got about 300 people hollering, Bruiser, Bruiser, Bruiser. Can you just imagine that night with about 20,000 people as they spot Dick the Bruiser coming down the aisle hollering, Bruiser, Bruiser, Bruiser. That's got to get him all sacked up. It's got to get Ric Flair sacked up.
Yeah.
And he wants the sound of it.
Yeah, boy, that's a good point, Mick. It gives you goosebumps. That chant, it's haunting. And I'm sure it's going to haunt Ric Flair. Up and over the top goes David Price. Compliments of Dewey Robertson. I don't know what they'll chant when Robertson squares off with Dory Funk Jr. because they are two favorites. Two very popular wrestlers and two very talented wrestlers who both want to win so badly because they know the winner, along with some other victories, naturally might well be in line for a crack at the winner between the Bruiser and Flair. Flair was just enraged is too soft of a word. Enraged is an understatement. I mean, when he was standing there, he wasn't looking at the camera. He didn't care about anything. What has he done to me? My God, he took a shotgun and blew my pride apart. Flair was just, I don't know how to describe it. I mean, he was just so incensed, so utterly enraged and out of control. That's going to be something.
He forgot about Art Cruz, and Art kept getting his punches in her. Yeah.
He nearly got beat because he forgot about Art Cruz, and he finally managed to catch Cruz in the figure four, and he didn't waste any time playing with that figure four. I mean, he stretched it out, yanked that top leg over. Art was lucky he walked out of that ring with his ligaments intact. Whoa, what a moment. There have been so many for Dick the Bruiser. All the honors he's won, all the main events he's been in, all the victories he's had. Only one thing has eluded him. Flair's got it. The Bruiser almost had it once, and there are certainly those who would tell you he should have had it then. But now is the chance, his best chance ever. Maybe it's his last. Certainly his best chance ever. When you match them up on styles, Flair and the Bruiser, Flair more finessed, more of a finesse-type wrestler, a gambler, not as heavy, not as strong as the Bruiser for all his great physical skills. I'm not taking anything away from Ric Flair. He's been a great champion, and he's a fantastic athlete. I expect he's going to be at the top of this business for years and years to come. But you match up his style to the Bruiser's, and you can see where he's got some problems, because the Bruiser is the opposite in many ways. And he's ready. He's ready. Mike George twisting the arm of Jerry Brown. Now don't forget that next weekend, wrestling from other cities will be featured right here, same time, same place. In fact, if you see a new face or an old favorite you'd like to have on Wrestling at the Chase, write to us in care of KPLR TV. There's a chance for you to be a talent scout, in fact. See somebody you like? Let us know. Write us. And certainly every effort will be made to bring someone here that you want to see. Wrestling from St. Louis is back the weekend of July 3rd and 4th.
10 minutes left. 10 minutes.
Most falls to curfew. Robertson, George, and Jones is Jerry Brown, Price, and Kirby. Whoa, Robertson, what a move on Jerry Brown while holding him in a hammerlock, slamming him, and Brown's in trouble. He makes a tag with Kirby. As psyched up as the Bruiser and Flair are, Robertson's sky high, too. Big chance against Dory Funk Jr. Then an interesting interesting matchup of some of their favorite holds. I won't say all because it's like Dory Jr. Robertson is proficient with more things than just the thing he has become known for, which is the figure 4 leg lock. Dory Jr., of course, has made the spinning toe hold the foundation of his success. But there are counters to both holds. From the figure 4 leg lock, if you can hook someone's head, you can take them into an inside cradle. From the spinning toe hold, if you're on the receiving end and you can get rolled over, you can trip the man off balance, and from Robertson's point of view, go right into the figure 4 leg lock. But there are so many other holds that could come into play. A real wrestling test between Robertson and Funk. Robertson flips! Hurry up and over! Arm drag! Jerry Brown started to come in. Referee Eddie Smith stopped him. Then Robertson played safe. Drug Kirby over to the corner where Dewey could tag Rufus R. Jones. Jerry Brown begins yelling, "Go, Roger, go!" But he doesn't get exactly the same response he'd yell if he said, "Go, Bruiser, go!" To the crowd, he was starting to yell, "Bruiser, Bruiser, Bruiser!" Now, and he's not even in sight. In fact, they're standing in the bleachers yelling, "Bruiser, Bruiser, Bruiser!"
I tell you, Larry, like I say, 20,000 people, there'll be a traffic jam going up the highway. They hear that.
You're going to hear that down the hill. You may even hear that down the Lowson or further south.
I'll tell you, there won't be the same on the hill. We're right in the backyard.
Rufus R. Jones twisting that arm. We're talking about the big card coming up. We shouldn't overlook something else important to the community coming up, and that's on July 10th at the Francis Field in Washington University, the St. Louis Police Relief Association Celebrity Softball game. Of course, the wrestlers have been well represented over the years there. Von Erickson, Pat O'Connor, and Bulldog Bob Brown. Mickey and I will be there, so mark it on your calendar for July 10th. The Police Relief Association softball game at Washington University. Flying mare by Dewey Robertson. Robertson with a roll-up cradle on David Price. Count of 1, 2. Oh, Price managed to slip a leg away.
And Chief Camp will be pitching his last game for the Police Relief.
Chief Eugene Camp, who I might add, is a big wrestling fan, has long been a supporter of wrestling. He's at most of the matches. Robertson, pulled into the corner by David Price. A lot of the policemen are big supporters of wrestling. Go right from the high command down to the guys on patrol. Of course, those are troopers too, boy, out there doing a job, a tough job every day. And nobody ever says thanks.
So true.
Jerry Brown and Dewey Robertson are in there right now. No falls have been scored yet. Brown drops Robertson, throat first across the top rope. And we don't say thanks often enough to the great fans of the area. Their enthusiasm, their intelligence, their sportsmanship, staying away from the stupid stuff, the throwing, the ridiculous stuff that you see in some other sports. The wrestling fans know it takes an idiot to do something like that. And we don't have idiots. Dewey Robertson trapped in the corner by Kirby, Jerry Brown, and David Price. Triple team briefly. Robertson dropped by Kirby. May look like there are 6 men in that ring in those two big tag matches. Grayson Murdoch against DiBiase and Rhodes. Patera and Blackwell against the Von Erich boys, David and Carey. Jerry Brown with a forearm smash on Dewey Robertson. Brown pounding on Robertson.
Yeah, you got to give credit to the promoter, Pat O'Connor. I mean, he is carrying on a tradition. I mean, he came up with some card, I'll tell you that.
Well, listen, Pat would be the first to tell you, and I would too. Once in a while, you sit down with that consultant, Sam Muchnick. Say, hey, what do you think?
Fight that word! Hey, this is David the Crow Loiseau, and you're watching the Fight Network. Get it on.
Tompkins is getting all the way down. Crow Mountain, look out here for the bombs. Here come the strikes of the Crow. The Crow coming down with the left, right, left, right. Oh, it's over. It's over. It's over. Sean Tompkins with a TKO. David the Crow Loiseau moves up.
Find that word.
It's Challenge Churchill time, and here's your host, Kim from Bedford.
Okay, Churchill, your time starts now. Do you check your car insurance prices weekly to keep them competitive?
Oh, yeah.
Correct. Have you reduced prices in thousands of postcodes?
Oh, yeah.
Correct. What part of a car?
Crankshaft.
Correct. Maximum points Yes, there's still car insurance through it all. It's Churchill.
We're saving Britain millions. To challenge Churchill, call or go online.
I love the 60s.
Swinging London, changing London. John, Paul, George and Ringo.
It was such a special time.
It's one small step for man.
But nothing stays the same. Sadly, we all lose someone close to us. You can't prepare for the grief, but there is a way you can ease the money worries of those left behind. The 50+ plan from LV can provide a guaranteed cash lump sum to help towards things like funeral expenses and unpaid bills. It costs from £8 a month, and with LV there's no medical or health questions, so you're guaranteed to be accepted. And there's a free gift when your plan starts. For your free information pack, call LV today on 0800 45 45 45. That's 0800 45 45 45.
Hey guys, what's going on? Doing a little construction, eh? You guys want to put down the tools and pick up the fists and fight like a real man? Bet you guys can't wait to get home and kiss each other a lot. You guys are so filthy, your fingernails are dirty, and they smell like a creek. Why don't I take off that construction boot and kick you in the throat with it? And knock your voice box out. What are you guys eating? Each other? That's awkward. That's cool.
Dance! Then come to the ballroom, and you better be ready to go.
Here's a face to watch for the future.
Nobody waltzes in this ballroom.
Oh, he's wobbled. He continues to work.
He is out on his feet.
Put away those sissy dancing shoes. This is ballroom boxing.
Oh, just a hammering body shot.
It's the ultimate dance floor for boxing stars of tomorrow.
Big right hand, a big right hand. That was a crunching shot.
Ballroom boxing. Get it on. The Fight Network. Fight Network.
5 minutes left. 5 minutes.
5 minutes remaining curfew. And the referees are saying the tag was not legal and Jerry Brown belongs in there. Mike George, make sure he gets in there. Forearm smashed by Mike George. Brown caught in the stomach by a shot from Mike George. The Austin reminds me of Bobby Manigault, former world champion. Had a lot of great matches here in St. Louis in the 40s and 50s. Brown makes the tag to Price. Mike George is a man in a hurry today, isn't he? As soon as somebody gets tagged, Mike pulls him in. He made a mistake. Oh, is he trapped? Here comes Rufus. George still trapped. Jerry Brown doing the work underneath, holding on that leg, trapping Mike George in the corner. The referees are getting Kirby back, and I don't think in all the confusion they see Jerry Brown underneath there hanging on to the leg. And right now, George is weight on top. I don't know if Brown could go if he wanted to. He got squeezed pretty good. Don't forget, he was underneath George, Kirby, and Price.
I'll tell you one thing, though. Jerry Brown was thinking there. He held him in that corner.
He held onto that leg and tried to catch his breath at the same time. Price over the top. Mike George really tags Price with a knee lift into the stomach. Kirby flails away at Mike George. Hooks the head, suplex by Roger Kirby on Mike George. He covers Kirby. Kirby rather covers George. George throws Kirby off. Getting lost in this hot and heavy action. It's a good thing we got some out-of-town programs coming up. I need a break.
Oh, I tell you, this has been some day.
Wrestling from St. Louis, don't forget, we'll be back on television July 3rd and 4th. We'll be around for that.
3 minutes left. 3 minutes.
The Greco-Roman back body drop by Jerry Brown. He crawls across the shoulders of Mike George, and Dewey Robertson breaks it up. Tag made to Price. George trying to get over and make a tag. He's still stunned, and he couldn't get to his partners. Price, tried to backflip George, and George caught him with a kick. Tag made to Rufus. Rufus winds up and drops him. An elbow smash to the head by Rufus R. Jones. Price hauled to the ropes. Up and over the top. Rufus has a freight train rolling. Body slam. Rufus goes for the pin. Brown breaks it up. Kirby was there too. Robertson's after Kirby. George is after Brown. All 6 men in the ring. It's a Donnybrook.
6 men, 2 referees, 4 cameramen, 1 director.
And you and I may find somewhere safe. And it wasn't even safe when the Bruiser was out.
2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
David Price staggers to his feet. Headbutt by Rufus. Rufus covers Price. Count of 1, 2, 3. There it is. The first fall. The first fall belongs to Rufus R. Jones, Dewey Robertson, and we still can't pull them apart. Mike George, we're checking the clock, and I think we have a winner in the match. Yes, the curfew will be eaten up by the rest period. That's the first fall. It's the only fall. We still can't pull everybody apart. Mickey Garagiola very carefully thinking about getting into that ring. Jones pinned Price. That was the first fall. There comes Roger Kirby after Rufus again. Jerry Brown is after Mike George. Mickey Garagiola says, where's my microphone? Mickey Garagiola says, where's the Bruiser to protect me? And I think finally some order is restored. We've got the microphone back in the ring to Mickey. And maybe, with a little luck, if we can keep them apart and we live right, we're going to hear the time on that fall and the match from Mickey Garagiola.
With time running out, the winner of the only fall and the match, a team of Dewey Robinson, Rufus R. Jones, and Mike George.
You couldn't ask for more action from Wrestling at the Chase. There's Rufus R. Jones after all 6 men were in the ring. And it had been a wild one. You can see everybody in there. There's Rufus lining up Price for that head-cracking headbutt. Down goes Price. We still have some action in the ring. They never even got out. They're battling again. And during the match is over officially, but there's Rufus R. Jones making the pin. You can see Dewey Robertson making sure that nobody gets to Rufus, so that Dewey, Rufus, and Mike George get their hands raised in token of victory. I'll tell you, it's been wild and woolly on Wrestling at the Chase. The referee's still trying to get everybody out of that ring, and it's a tough job. And I'll tell you, it's going to be a tough job for Dick the Bruiser to take that gold belt away from Ric Flair. Believe me, the Bruiser knows it. Flair's had some problems, but he recognizes this fact. He got to the top because he's the best, because he's beaten the best, and now he's going to have to prove it one more time to a gentleman named Dick the Bruiser. And you know what the Bruiser has going for him in this showdown. And of course, don't forget that next weekend, out-of-town wrestling will come to KPLR TV and the station. Wrestling from St. Louis will resume the weekend of July 3rd and 4th. Thanks for watching. We do appreciate it. Until next time, so long.
You've been watching Wrestling at the Chase. This program has been presented in cooperation with the St. Louis Wrestling